Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video we are watching Psycho, the original of course, and I am so super excited to watch this one. I feel like this is a film basically every horror fan has seen or has at least heard of. I know there's some of you out there that have not seen this film. I am pretty sure I've seen this film, but it's been a while. I obviously know what it's about, and of course I've seen Bates Motel. Loved that show. I know not everybody does, but I love the show. So I'm really excited to watch Psycho and get like super into this film. This one on the list that I've been waiting for. So I'm just gonna go ahead and watch it and let you guys know what I think. Okay, so just finished with watching Psycho, and oh my god, this movie is just, it's so good. Totally understandable why this film is a classic. I'm not going to go into too much about what this film's about because I feel like everybody kind of already knows what this film is about. So I really don't think I need to elaborate too much into it. But there are obviously things about this film that I do want to talk about. It's so good. So let's start with just talking about Norman himself. One thing that I love about this character, and why I think that he is so spooky, it's not even just like the whole thing with him and his mother and all of that. It's just him as a killer in general. He really is like such a charming character, and not so much in the sense that I feel like a lot of male serial killers are portrayed in a like usual charming way. It's generally like kind of romantic or even sexual that they're able to like charm women in those ways. With him, it's just more so that he seems so like innocent and friendly and just like a really bubbly dude, and kind of like goofy, and that is just like what really like makes what you know he's doing or capable of like so crazy to me. And now granted, going into this film, obviously I knew what it was about and what was gonna happen, so there wasn't like a lot of surprise with that aspect. I feel like this is one of those films, like if you could go back in time and see it in the theaters, I would love to do, because I would just love to see this film from like fresh eyes, not knowing anything about this film. So if you are somebody who doesn't know anything about this film, I would not watch this review and definitely go watch it. Let me know your thoughts on it, because that's something that I think would be so interesting. I think that there are little parts when you know what's gonna happen that you can like catch things. There's a moment where after Norman and Maria have dinner, the first like woman that comes to stay at his hotel kind of sets all the events of the movie off. He goes into the house after they've eaten, and he stands at the staircase, and he just stands there for like a couple of seconds, and then you see his body language change, and he like puts his hand in his pocket, and he goes and like sits down at the kitchen table and is like messing with things. And I loved that little moment. I definitely like picked up on that, which I don't know if that's something that I necessarily would have picked up on if I hadn't known what the situation was within this film. And it's definitely one of those that I feel like if you watch it again with fresh eyes, it's definitely worth going back and checking to pick up on those little subtleties. Another thing that I thought was really cool that I think is really cool within this film is the fact that Norman isn't really our center character at first. He obviously does become that later on within the film, but for the first like 30, 40 so minutes of this film, the Maria character really is like our main center character. You're following her from the very beginning, so you almost are kind of under the assumption that she could be like the psycho that the title is referring to, especially given kind of some of the things that she's doing, which I'm sure was definitely done on purpose and had to also be quite a bit of a shock. And I really like the way that was done, because you could definitely show like Norman doing things and then she comes in later on, but they switched it up, which I think is genius. Now to talk about the shower scene. Obviously this is a fantastic scene. I am not dissing the shower scene in any sort of way. I will say I think the actual like her dying, being murdered part is a little, I guess, I don't want to say underwhelming. I don't think it holds up as much today. Just the actual action of her being killed, it's, you know, a little off. You can tell she's like not actually being like stabbed, but it's still such a great, fantastic, and really intense scene. I'm sure it was something that for many people they like did not see coming at all, and it was a total shock. Obviously I saw it coming, knew it was gonna happen, and you know, which is unfortunate. But I definitely think that the moment after, when she's dying, like when she reaches out for the shower curtain and she just like falls over the bathtub, and they like she's kind of zoomed in, and it's kind of zoomed in on her face, and then it like zooms out, and she's just like obviously not blinking or anything, and you're just like watching this zoom out. That part is so intense. Like that whole, like the whole scene really is intense, but specifically like that part to me was super intense. And then also just the fact that you then have Norman wrapping her up in that same shower curtain is just like, it's like kind of angering and really sad and very intense, and really just this whole film really is intense. And obviously those like end scenes when you find out about the mother actually being dead, again, a moment that you know is gonna happen, especially due with the internet, because I feel like we see those things all the time. But even just like when Maria's sister, the other Mrs. Crane, was like going to reach for the mother and turned around, I don't know, so it's like waiting, and then Norman like pops up behind and he stresses his mother. It's just like, it's still such a what the fuck moment, even though you know it's coming. And of course that last line of she wouldn't even hurt a fly, that whole bit is just so great. This really is just such a good film. If you haven't seen it, you're still watching this, highly suggested. Definitely makes me really want to rewatch Bates Motel, because I love that show. It's one of my favorite horror shows, and definitely one of my favorite shows adapted off of film. And I highly suggest that if you haven't seen it as well. And if you haven't seen this movie in a long time, definitely suggest a rewatch of this one. If you have seen it, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you did enjoy this, please do give a big old thumbs up. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button for more horror related content, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Bye.